Welcome everyone to another wonderful episode here at Doctors of Podiatry. This is a great case for a lot of great reasons. First and foremost, we have a patient who drove from quite far away to come see us here at Doctors of Podiatry. Brief history. Patient presents today with a callus on the bottom of the left great toe. It's a chronic callus. The patient is non-diabetic, very, very important to note, but it's also very important to note that the patient does have an element of neuropathy. The patient does not feel the great toe as other people would. We're not really sure the cause, but what we do know is that there is an element of neuropathy, which is a contributory factor, or one of the contributory factors to the development or the continuous development of this problem. So, let's go ahead and present the case here. Okay, so the clinical presentation, there is a callus lesion on the bottom of the left great toe. In the central portion, we can, I'm sure that Caesar can actually kind of zoom in there. You can actually see that there's a small opening. We're going to go ahead and debride the callus, to kind of inspect what's going on the, on the toe itself. Now, this is, the patient has seen previous clinicians, two, and they have made further recommendations. This is a chronic problem. Patient had a previous MRI to make sure there's no bone infection. None was found at the time. That was, that was almost a year ago. So yes, we are going to go ahead and repeat the MRI. Number one, that's the first thing that we want to do. Make sure that there's no bone infection, which I don't believe there will be any. Number two, Caesar, come from the top here. I want everyone to see the toe is actually kind of warm. So the toe is actually kind of warm. There is redness. We're going to put, give the patient some antibiotics as well. And of course, try to, at the top of the list, infection control. Now, Caesar, let's look at the whiteboard here. So we'll just say, this is the metatarsal head, the toe, and I know that people are going to be happy that I'm using the whiteboard again. So basically, we'll just say this is a lesion here, right? That's the side. Let's kind of go to this is right? This is the lateral view, I'm sorry. And this is the callus, right? On the bottom. Side view, bottom view, okay? So basically there's a bone right around here, okay? We'll make believe it's a bone spur. And that bone spur is the root cause of the problem, okay? So it's around, we'll just say it's around here, right? And this is causing this problem. We gotta eliminate that to eliminate that, okay? Again, clinical presentation, we have the lesion, the callus, the ulcer here as a result of the problem. We'll just say a little bone spur in this area, in the bone. We have to eliminate this to eliminate this. But first we have to close the ulcer so we can perform MIS, minimally invasive surgery. Okay, so patient, if for whatever reason you feel it, just please let me know. Okay, there's, we'll start here at the periphery. And we'll just kind of work our way a little bit more central. I kind of like to do it sometimes like this a little bit. You okay, patient?
Mm-hmm.
Pressure?
Mm-hmm. No problem.
Okay. Right. So again, we're just removing all of this callus to inspect the underlying defect. We're going to implement local wound care, offload, which is of utmost importance. Really important, and I'm just going to talk out loud here just so the patient can actually, we'll just go ahead and take the opportunity to talk a little bit about what we can do now. The ideal scenario is no weight. Whether using a little knee rolling walker or something, just to take off all the weight. That's the most effective way to have this heal quickly. If for whatever reason we cannot accomplish that, then of course, an ugly shoe, offload the area. And of course, we don't walk on our hands, we walk on our feet. That's part of the problem, right? Any pain? Okay. 4x4, please. Okay, so we basically, we removed all of the devitalized tissue. And now what we're gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna see if it probes anywhere, right? Kind of poke here. The bone is in close proximity, but it's not what we call probing. Okay, as everyone can see, maybe like a millimeter or so. It doesn't probe. There's no exposed bone. Again, it's just with two fingers, just do that. So it doesn't track anywhere, which is great. So this is a great case. A lot of people may say, well, this is not such a OMG, oh wow, right case. But you guys would be surprised how many people, whether diabetic, non-diabetic, underlying comorbidities, underlying medical issues that have this problem. Pinch calluses. I love when the patient comes in here and just throws these terms. Dr. Wagner, I have a pinch callus. Has the patients with pinch calluses that come here with underlying issues as such. At first glance, not a big deal, but these are the things, the little nothings that can turn into a little something. And again, bone infection, history of, we are given, just in life in general, we're given, one chance, maybe two chances. The third chance, that's when it becomes a problem. So we need to definitely address this accordingly, which is really, really important. I think a lot of people will benefit from a video as such. And this applies to anywhere, right? On the bottom of the foot, weight-bearing area, calluses, underlying calluses that we may find ulceration leading to bone infection, amputation. That's why, we focus our efforts on amputation prevention. Thumbs up with the patient. So, looking at what we discussed before, the Whitey board, we have a problem, right? In this case, we'll just call it a very generic bone spur. Bone spur is the cause of the symptom. The symptom is the callus. And in not only the callus ulceration, we're going to make sure that, we get an MRI, make sure there's no bone infection. Offload, take off the weight from... Thank God it wasn't Caesar. That was Christian. Number 3, antibiotics, control infection, and then once everything is closed, then we focus our efforts on, treating the problem to avoid any recurrence. That's it. Let's not complicate ourselves, which is exactly what I was telling the patient. I want to be very clear. This is the patient that found us through YouTube. This patient drove from very, very far away to get another opinion. I believe in second and third and fourth opinions. Even when patients come here as a first opinion, if I need to send the patient to a second opinion, I have no problem. That brings a lot of peace of mind to people, and I think it's the right thing to do in this day and age. For a believer. Caesar, what do you gotta say? Nothing, as usual. Christian, what do you have to say? Now, someone out there on YouTube said, now you have the 2 C's, Christian and Caesar, right? Yeah. So now I get to bother 2 people, not 1. You're very lucky, Caesar. Take some of that weight off you. So we will continue to do what we do. to educate the world that about these clinical presentations. Prevention, the key. And if for whatever reason, people out there, they live alone or they have, a significant other that may not be able to address these issues, family members, if there's no family member, friends of family, etc., okay? So that goes for people that really can't see the bottom of their feet, someone to inspect and help inspect between the toes and so on and so forth. Avoid any potential complication. So I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the patient for coming, all the way from far away to coming to see us here. We really, really appreciate that, to try to continue to educate the world. Caesar, Christian, as always, and of course, bring back the whiteboard, which I think is really, really important. Visualness is important. So as always, thank you for watching.